Hi, my name is Beth Ritter-Guth, and I'm the Director of Instructional Design and Director of American Honors at Union County College in Cranford, New Jersey. This is a short video that I created because I couldn't really find what I was looking for to help people get to the deep web and learn a little bit about the dark web. This is just an overview, and then we'll do a little modeling so that you can see. First thing I want to tell you is a disclaimer. If you're going to the deep web or the dark web, you should have a reason to be there. Illegal activity is illegal. You shouldn't get caught up in it. Going to the dark web is risky. And we're going to talk about the difference between what the deep web is and the dark web. A lot of times people get those terms confused. But you really should have a purpose for working in spaces that aren't on the common web. So the deep web refers to everything that can't be indexed by a search engine like Google, right? So that's actually a lot of really good stuff. That's your medical record, those are your college records, even a video game like World of Warcraft, right? That stuff, you can't search anything and have it pop up in the Google search on a regular website. So the deep web applies to 97% of the internet, because we really only use in the common web, what we call the common web, we only really use about 3% of that. The dark web is a subset within the deep web, and that's where all the bad stuff is. And so a lot of really great people get together, and they either work for companies, or they volunteer their time to clean up these bad parts of the web. So anything bad that you can imagine, think 100 times worse and 1,000 times worse than that, and that's what you'll find on the dark web. So to me, the deep web is structured a lot like Dante's Inferno. There are many layers, and there are layers within layers. The dark web is one of the layers of the deep web, and there are many layers within it. So only go there if you have a purpose. It's very, very risky. You're not ever 100% secure. So just be careful, okay? Like when you go to another country, you want to prepare to travel, right? You have to get your passport, and you have to get your shots, and you have to get your money converted. Well, all of those things are true when you want to travel to the deep web, and specifically the dark web. So you need to download VirtualBox, and I download Linux Ubuntu, because I have a Mac at home and I have a PC at work, but I don't use those two operating systems. I use this Ubuntu because it works for me. There are other ways to do this. There are other programs, there are other softwares that are better. This just happens to be what I do, because I'm not actively hacking. I'm not actively searching for anything. I really just am a tour guide, taking you to show you what's here. The currency that's used in the deep web is called Bitcoin. It's a cryptocurrency. So you even have to exchange your money if you want to buy things, which I don't recommend you do. But if you want to buy things or sell things, that is the currency that is most often used. So we're not going to go into this slide too much, because I'm going to show you when I model it all of these things. But I wanted to have a place where you could pause and just have a written list of things that you're going to do. Just some reminders of the things that we're going to do. Number 8 is probably the most important, and that's be patient, because this all takes a little bit of time, and it takes time to be careful. So take the time that you need to make sure that you do it right. Once we get to the dark web, we're going to go to probably the most notorious starting point or gate, if you want to think in Dante's Inferno terms, which is called the hidden wiki. We're going to start there. I'm actually not going to take you further than the wiki. I'm just going to show you where the wiki is, and then if you want to do this at home, that's up to you. But again, be careful, because it is a dangerous place, and you will see things you don't want to see, and you will learn about things you've never heard about. Just be careful. So welcome to the dark web. So what I'd like to do now is just model for you how I go onto the deep web and then get to the dark web. So the very first thing I'm going to do is I am going to open a VirtualBox. What I'm doing is I'm just creating a separate computer on my computer, a machine. Remember that nothing is 100% safe, so even creating this doesn't make it absolutely safe. It just takes everything that I'm going to do now off of my main computer. I'm going to call it sample, and I'm going to rename it. I'm going to pick the type as Linux Ubuntu, which is the operating system I'm going to use. I'm going to slide this up a little bit. Hit continue. You can create a hard disk on a flash drive. Lots of people do that. Most people who actually actively work actually do that, have other drives that they're using. But for today, I'm just going to show you how to get there. So now I've created a virtual machine. I'm not on the dark web. I've not done anything illegal. I'm not going to do anything illegal in this presentation. So what all you've done now is created a little machine for yourself to work on. I'm going to click Start. And you can see that it's confused because it doesn't have an operating system to use, right? So I have to tell it what operating system I want. I don't want it to use my Mac OS. I want it to use this Ubuntu. So that's what it's going to do. Now I'm going to redo. When I do this process every single time, start to finish. I load these files. I delete these files when I'm done. So I don't install the full Ubuntu onto the machine. I just do the demo copy because I'm not going to be on it that long, and it's a lot shorter, right? So it's going to ask me what I want to do, and I'm going to say what it asks me. It's going to ask me. There we go. I'm going to try Ubuntu. And this machine works like your regular desktop in most ways. Like you just download zip files and then install them. So we'll wait to do that. Like I said, number 8, patience is the most important thing. So this, you can see this is just a machine like you have. I can write a paper. I can do my taxes. I can do lots of things. But what I want to do right now is I want to go to Firefox. And I'm going to search for something called Tor, T-O-R. And Tor is the browser that we use, sort of like the airplane that gets us to the deep web. So we're going to download it. It identifies your operating system. You can go ahead and download it. We'll save the file. So it's downloading. Now I'm going to install it. I'm going to extract the files. I'm going to just throw it on my desktop because, like I said, I'm going to delete all this when I'm done. So it's going to extract the files for me. Okay, so now I've downloaded what I need. I'm going to get out of Firefox, like that. And from here on out, I am only going to use the Tor browser. Open this, and I'm going to open this. And what the Tor browser does is it provides you anonymous access to the internet. But remember that hackers live here, so you're not 100% safe. You can still be hacked even though you're using the Tor browser. It's just a way for you. It's like an onion, which is the symbol that they use, and there are many layers that you go through to send and receive information. So it's a little complicated, but if you think about an onion and how there are many different layers that you peel off, to get to the core, all the traffic passes through that and then passes back out to its intended recipient. So I'm going to connect to Tor. Okay, so now I'm on the Tor browser. Now, there's some things to remember. Notice how I didn't resize my screen. Well, that is because this is the default size of my screen when I do things. And it's important to keep your computer at that default screen, because once you change it and go full screen, then you can be tracked. So you want to just leave it the way it is and use your scroll bars. I know, it's totally 1986, right? Now, the very first thing it asks you to do is open your security settings, and you want to do that. and you want to take this low all the way up to high, click OK. And always, always, always remember to do that. Now, what's really, really important is to know the difference between HTTP and HTTPS. Okay? HTTPS is secure and HTTP is not. When you're looking at things, you always want to make sure that the address starts with HTTPS. Always, always, always. All right? So keep that in mind as we're looking around. Now what we want to look for is we want to look for a thing called the hidden wiki. My typing is terrible. Okay, so you can see that I've disabled Java, that's what I did. So here's the hidden wiki, the Wikipedia page. Okay, so you can see up here that this is a secure search because I have the HTTPS, right? Okay. You can see all kinds of different stuff. And if I type in, how do I get to the hidden wiki? How do I get to Sesame Street? But not, right? I'll come to this site, thehiddenwiki.net. Now this site I could look at on my regular computer. It's not the dark web. I'm not on the deep web when I'm looking at this site, right? This is something that I can look at anywhere. Okay, you get information about it, right? But I can see that this is just a regular address. And so this is something I can look at anywhere, right? It doesn't provide me any special security. The link I want, if you look down here, see this HTTP, onion.wiki? Well, notice there's not an HTTPS there, right? Okay, so now I'm looking at all the things, the gateway to the dark web. And I'm just going to scroll slowly so that you can see the kinds of things that you can find here. There's whistleblowing, like WikiLeaks you might have heard of. There's pornography. There's ways to get drugs. There are ways to get people's credit cards. There are, sites and all kinds of things, right? Remember I talked about the currency, Bitcoin, okay? So there are all kinds of things here. So just being here and looking around isn't illegal, but you can get in some trouble if you click on financial services and think, oh, I can buy credit card numbers? Why, I think I shall do that. That is illegal activity. And so what people do that want to clean up the web is, because those credit cards belong to people, maybe you or maybe me, so what people like me do, we want to find those people who are stealing our credit card numbers, and we want them brought to justice, and we want our credit cards, safe. So this is just one way to get to the dark web. There are many other ways, and there are many other ways. There are many other things that you can do to be safe, and we're going to talk about those in the workshop with some experts that can help you be safe. And there are different softwares and all sorts of different things. Just remember that you're never entirely safe. You are always at risk, and you will see things you don't want to see. If you click around too deep, you will see things that you never even thought you could see. So, welcome to the dark web. This is all I want to show you. When you're all done, you want to click out of here. I'm going to close these two tabs, and I'm going to quit out of this machine by powering it off. I'm going to go back to my virtual machine. I'm going to remove this machine by deleting all its files. And that, my friends, is how you get to the deep web and the dark web. Thank you.